So good evening and welcome to our Team YOLO Down Under training call on a Monday night. My name's Candy and I'm really excited to be able to share the call about the fortunes in the follow-up. And the lovely Beck Riley is going to be taking us through why it's so important for us as we grow our businesses to make sure we are following up. Really, we can have those conversations with people, but if we are not following up, we are not growing our businesses and we're not obviously growing our customer base or our team. So Beck, I'll hand it straight over to you. If everyone can make sure they're on mute before we start, that would be fantastic.
Okay, so I hope that you can't hear too much background noise going on because my husband's putting the kids to bed. So we'll do the best we can. So when I was looking at doing a talk on this subject, I did a bit of research and I sort of had a look at what lots of other people were saying about the fortune in the follow-up. And I've sort of culminated everything together and things that I've learnt. And I just hope that I can give you some value for the time that you're going to spend here tonight. So in this business, we really do have to follow people up. You can't expect that people are going to call you back, speak to them once, and then they'll, straight away call you. You only have to think about when you go to a Tupperware party or some sort of product demonstration and you go away and you have a think about it and you think, oh, I really should get back to that person. But you never do because time gets away and things are busy. So people won't chase you. You're going to have to follow them up. So if you haven't heard from someone, it's really important not to run stories as to why you haven't heard from them. It's probably just that they're busy, as I just said. And when you actually do get to speak to somebody, you're going to need to get yourself out of the way. So don't just jump in and say, this is what it's done for me, blah, 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 blah. You need to think about the person that you're speaking to. And you really need to get to know what it is that they're after. So ask them some questions. Find out what their pain is. Ask them at least 5 questions before you jump in with what your answer is. When they say, what is Juice Plus? Then you need to find out what they want, what their pain is. So you might ask some questions like, where are you with your health journey at the moment? You might say, what is it that got you interested about Juice Plus? And these sorts of questions are going to lead on, and then you'll be able to ask them some more questions to dig deeper and find out exactly what it is that that they're wanting from you. So it's also important because you want to come at them from the right angle. You want to be able to You want them to be able to see the benefit of the products or of the program that you're going to offer them. So, if I just came straight out and said, oh, this program's giving me heaps of energy, sleeping better, this and this, but that's not what they're after at all. They might be constipated or whatever, then they're going to go, oh, well, that's not really what I'm after. Whereas if I dig deeper and find out what their pain is and what it is that they're looking for, then I've probably got a testimonial or a story that I can put out there to them to help them with that, to help them to see the value of the product. So I'm just referring to my notes when I look to the side. So the other sorts of follow-ups that you may have might be after an event. If you've got some people that say they're going to show up and they never do, then it doesn't hurt to give them a call the next day. So just ring them and say, sorry that you missed the event and you hope everything's okay, but maybe you can organise another time to catch up with them for a coffee, or maybe you can organise another time, for them to come to another event. So always follow up those people who don't show up. You're not chasing them. You want to be caring and nurturing. And that way you'll never feel like, you know, you're trying to be salesy and chase people up if you are always looking out for other people and helping people, because that's what we do in this business. We help people, and I think that's really important to remember. So if we're on Facebook, we can follow up on any likes that we might get on our posts. Always send them a personal message. So you might say, how are the kids, if you know them, you know, be a bit personal with them first if you know them, and then maybe say, thanks for liking my post. What was it that resonated with you? There'll be a reason why people have liked your post, and often it's good feedback for you too, because you can know what works and what doesn't work. The other, what else have I got here? So you can follow up on your comments on the Facebook posts as well. If you get a question like, tell me, just checking if everyone's muted. Yep. You might get a question on one of your posts like, tell me more about this product, or what is this? Will this give me more energy? How much does it cost? Can you send me more information? Any of those sorts of questions, always respond with, I'll personal message you or PM you. And that way, you know, other people aren't listening, you know, looking at your conversation, and it can sometimes spark curiosity of those other people too. Oh, I wonder what she's telling them. Maybe I should ask a question. So when you PM the people, you can pretty much say the same thing to everyone. You can thank them for their comment, and you can ask, you know, what attracted them to find out more about this, or, you know, if you could change one thing about your health, what would it be? So again, you want to dig down deeper into their pain, and you want to find out what they're looking for. So for example, if it's weight loss, then, you know, ask them, how much do they want to lose? What have they tried in the past and what's worked for them? So you want to find out as much as you can about this person before you actually share with them what we've got to offer, because you want to make sure that you're actually sharing information that's going to help them or that's relevant to them. So once you've built up some discussion, try and take it offline. I know Fee Taylor's a big one on this. Get it offline, she says. See if you can get them on a call. And if you're not sure how to deal with this person, remember you can always use your three-way calls. Call your upline and say, hey, I'm ringing this person. And I think it was Bronwyn did a talk on three-way calls last week or the week before. So if you're not sure about three-way calls, you can look back at that little video that was done. But yeah, if you want to get them on a call, find out that's a convenient time for them. And then once you get them on the call, you can offer, you know, the packages that are available that are best to suit their budget and what they're after. So I hope I haven't rushed through all that too quickly. But I guess to summarise, it's always important when you're following up with someone to really dig deep and find out what the pain of that person is and find out what it is that they're wanting from your product. That way you'll know what to offer them, and you'll know how to best suit their needs. So I don't know if anyone's got any stories that they wanted to share about some follow-ups, or whether there's any questions.
That was really good, Beck. You know, with the, you know, as I always say, and Jeff Roberti always says, the fortunes and the follow-up, the fortunes and the follow-up. It's also, I love to just take a point, like, you know, you were saying about don't run stories. That is such a great point. You know, we've got to always remember that Juice Plus means more to us than them, because we know the value of it. So if you haven't heard from them, they might have seen on Messenger that they've seen your, you know, it looks like they've read it and then they've ignored you, but maybe they've been busy. I know myself so many times that I accidentally bump it and I'm like, oh, I haven't read it. but, you know, to people, they're probably thinking I'm ignoring them. So that's not what is happening. And if you see that, if someone that you've contacted never got back to you, or you've had a conversation for, you know, over a month of, yes, I'm interested, no, I always send out a message, and we did it this month, and it was really, really helpful to get people just engaged again, and most important, I was like, I'm so, so sorry that I haven't been in contact with you. I know how keen you were to learn more, to order. I've just been so flat chat, and I really apologise. I'm so excited you want to get started. This is what I need to get you started. How does that sound? And pretty much most of the people that we sent that to ordered. So because they get so busy as well. So, and again, you're putting it back out there, and you're kind of giving them the permission that maybe they just didn't get back to you. They've been busy. They felt bad. So I think that's it's such a good point of not running stories, Beck. That's really wonderful. And as you said, get yourself out of the way. It's not about you. If you think, oh my God, I've messaged them all, just message them again. Add value. Even if it isn't a Juice Plus thing, I always say to my girls, add value to start up a conversation again. So if you haven't heard back from them, think about what you were talking about or what their pain was, and maybe you can just say, you know, send them, might be a motivational quote because they've been going through a really hard time. Or it could be a recipe that might help with their kids that you know are fussy eaters. So add value to them, and you're going to get this re-engagement back. I know, Sarah, you had put your hand up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just I've got a story. I met a lady at a ladies' luncheon. Very background noise. Everyone here. Yeah, so I met a lady at a ladies' luncheon, and I did some good follow-ups with her. I emailed her, and she got back to me quite quickly and was excited to have a chat. And I sent her, I didn't know this lady either. I probably, in hindsight, didn't ask enough questions. So thank you, Beck, for that. That's really what I need to learn to do more. But I did follow up with her, and I sent her through some information, and she just didn't respond. So I did exactly what we're not supposed to do. I said that story in my head. I told myself it was me. They weren't interested. I was hassling, yada, yada, yada. And clearly, well, about a month later down the track, I accidentally actually sent this lady, and I think it was an email or a message somehow. I accidentally sent something through her because she was on one of my lists. And she popped up and said to me, oh, hey, how are you? I'm so sorry I haven't gotten back to you about that email 6 weeks ago. So it wasn't ever that she was ignoring me or I was hassling her, all these stories that I told myself. It was just that she just hadn't gotten back to me. So now I've got her back on my radar, and I'm doing what you said about the value add. So I've just got her on my email. I send her out an email every week. So we're still touching base, and she still sort of sees what I'm doing and that I'm there. And when she's ready to engage, I'll be ready for her to, answer any questions or anything like that. So yeah, it's just about that storytelling.
That's awesome. And in the end, when you share without expectation, when you adjust, it's kind of like the gospel, you share Juice Plus with everyone, and some people take it, some people don't. And sometimes they need to see the value, and they don't see that straight away. But if we can keep adding value to them, they're going to feel less like you're trying to get a sale, and they're going to your actions are really going to line up with your words of, I want to help you. This is about you. And also to get people don't be scared of picking up the phone. As Bron was saying on the three-way calls and on her training a few weeks ago, you cannot misread someone's voice. You can hear the passion and the excitement. So if you pick up the phone and they don't answer and you leave a message, they're going to listen to that, hopefully, and they're going to hear your excitement and your passion and what it's all about. Or even if it's not a phone call, instead of writing a messenger, hit that little mic button on your messenger and leave them a message. This is my favorite thing to do now. We do it a lot in our team because A, it saves you heaps more time, and B, it's so much more engaging. It is so nice to hear people's voices. You feel way more connected. And And, you know, they pretty much will get back to you when they hear that voice. They don't know how to do it back, but they can text message and listen. So use those things, guys, or if you've got WhatsApp or Voxer or what have you, use them. And really don't be scared to pick the phone up. And if people say no, it's not no to you. It's just no to them right now. It's a not now situation. Unless they're telling you to do these ones, it's a not now. So is there anyone else that has a story they'd love to share or a question or anything before we finish? And we have team leader Fee on here. Suze.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's just so wonderful to hear you girls talk so passionately about this because, as Beck said, I am the get them offline person. The grid. I know it's such a simple thing. I didn't have the grid when I started. It's this amazing tool. So the grid is fantastic for keeping track of where you're at with people, and like I file mine in months, so I can always go back and restart conversations. So use your grid and use it for follow-up. And, you know, as everyone said, you've got to build a relationship first before you go in for the Juice Plus. Try and find where it's going to fit in their lives. Try and have a look at what's going on in their lives on Facebook before you contact them. It's a bit of a stalker thing, but hey, it gives you a bit of an idea of what's going on and the sorts of mood that they're in when they're posting. And, you know, you can even say, hey, just noticed on Facebook that, you know, this is going on or that's going on, you know, how you doing or whatever. It's reconnecting. Facebook gives close. People don't tell you things that they don't want you to know, right? So use Facebook as that tool, but then get the conversation off Facebook. I say that with a lot of passion because I've seen too many Facebook pages be shut down. I've seen too many people lose all their contacts because they don't really know who half the people are on their Facebook friends list. So the sooner you can actually have a conversation with them or get them on email or somehow connect with them off Facebook, I think, you know, Facebook's an awesome tool, but it's not the be all and end all. And, you know, as Candy says, to hear the passion in someone's voice about what's going on for them with the product or, you know, the excitement. One thing that I say to everybody, you are inviting in on the phone. Sending an invitation through Facebook and texting is two ways of doing it. But until people know how excited you are or, you know, you give them a reason, and your enthusiasm is generally a good reason for them to come and take a closer look at an event or, you know, catch up for dinner beforehand or what have you. So use the follow-up as, you know, reconnecting with the person and talking to them, not just all about JP. But you guys have smashed it. It's been some awesome. Beck, you smashed it. Awesome. Great feedback. Great tips there. Always really good. I'm sorry I wasn't face on when we first started. I was in the middle of doing 5 other things, but I was listening. But yeah, I love these training calls. I just wish I could get on them more often. It's just a no basketball night for me. Woohoo! Yay! So I'm here.
Oh, it's good to have you on, Fee. And I know, Suze, that you put your hands up there quickly, hon. If you had anything to share, darling.
Yeah, I was just going to share. Sorry, I was a bit distracted with noisy kids before, so I don't know if it was covered in those few minutes. But for me, like, it was really hard in the beginning to pick up that phone. Like, the nerves were always there, and it's that having that 20 seconds of courage. But the way, a really good tool of getting around it is to spend 5 minutes beforehand actually writing down what you love, respect, and admire about that person and why you want to help them. So you're taking that intention, you're taking it out of the head and you're taking it down to the heart and going with the heart. And if you're leading from that heart place, you can't go wrong. You know, you're not going to say the wrong thing, and you can just go, okay, I'm not going to say the wrong thing because this is about love and care for this person. So if you're one of those people that gets a bit nervy about picking up the actual phone and talking to people, it's a great tool to have and just get in that space before you actually dial the call. So just
10 points, Susie. You're talking profile sheets. I love it.
Yeah.
Do your profile sheets, guys. If you've got someone you want in the business or you want as a customer, do your profile sheet. And whether you store it on your phone in your notes or in your album, when I first started, I used to have an album in my phone of profile sheets so that when Linda and I were talking, when the time actually came, I could make sure she had it before we did a three-way call. Your profile sheets are gold. If you've got someone that you want in your business and you have not written a profile sheet, go do it, because it's exactly what Susie's saying.
Boom. I love it. I'm going to start recording now, guys.